everybody.
Everyone.
Welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I'm your host, Scott Ram.
And I'm also your host, Noelle McVoy, and it is Wednesday. Woohoo! TGIW.
Yes. TGI. All right, settle down. Did you like the little rev up what I did with when I said welcome to Wake Up Missoula?
Oh, I didn't even notice
It was a little inflection.
I lost my thoughts. But we have a great show for you guys. Marc Moss is on our show this morning to talk about Tell Us Something, which is coming up next week.
And we have a whole bunch of clips we got to show for you guys.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of new episodes happening tonight. But first, let's talk a little bit about weather because it's going to be cold. And you're going to expect your highs to be in the 20s. Of course, some highs are going to get a little warm. But of course, you can expect to peak past freezing point by this Friday for your very first Friday event and art activities.
Oh, good.
But
good.
Of course, it is 7 degrees outside.
Yeah, 7 degrees, so bundle up, everyone. Start your cars early.
But I can say that it's been really clear outside. It's like super clear.
That's
you go
why it's so
outside
cold.
At night.
You can see all the stars and the moon. It's all romantic, and then you're like, I'm way too cold.
But then again, you gotta understand the clear skies all together is good for even like the pollution to just kind of get out in the air into the next place.
Ah, yes.
Because pollution doesn't go away; it just goes somewhere else.
It just goes somewhere. Kind of like that South Park episode of the homeless people. There's this really terrible South Park episode of homeless people. Where homeless people like invade, and they are like kind of like zombies, and they're always asking for change. And how they find out about why they came there was because another town sent them to there. So they send them to another town. It's really terrible.
It sounds not all that familiar between a certain rival of our football team, but I think I'm going to boast.
What? Rival of our football team? They're sending homeless people places?
I don't know. I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, but
no idea.
I'm just going to start that rumor. Or help spread the rumor.
Scott and I are into spreading rumors. Really ridiculous.
Did you hear that Lady Gaga is crazy? No, I'm kidding. But of course, you can find out how crazy we are by logging on to our website, wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. So nice we made you spell it out twice. You can also like us on Facebook. Oh, we already got a message.
Oh,
Sweet.
good.
You could follow us on Twitter.
You can like Missoula Community Access Television on Twitter, as well as like us on Facebook. But if you want to find out more information about MCAT, just go to mcat.org.
Yep, and every Saturday is our Stop Animation Camp. And I wanted to talk to you about this because I was driving. I was driving down the street in my Toyota Corolla.
In your whip, okay. Scott was whipping a nan-nan down the street.
And I heard a commercial on the radio for the Drop-In Animation Camp.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So if you have a kid that's between the ages of 9 and 13 roughly, they're welcome to come down here and learn about stop animation every Saturday from 1 to 5.
Who was
it's
it?
$10 for drop-in. It's just some lady on the radio.
I was supposed to do that. Guess not.
Yeah, it didn't sound like Noelle.
Wasn't me.
Unless you have like a super different radio voice.
I do. No, I don't.
Hey, you're listening to the radio. My radio voice is Josh Minnie.
Yes, it is.
Of course. But without further ado, we have some clips of what's new on MCAT tonight. I have a whole bunch of clips to show you, so bear with us. We have a lot of great stuff happening today. We have some public lands. You have the UM Education Conference, which featured heavily about the budget cuts from the university. That's happening tonight. We have the Provost Distinguished Lecture Series, and we have the Presidential Lecture Series. And we have some clips from Tell Us Something before we bring out Marc Moss. So we have a lot to show. So without much tell, here's the show.
And then I heard several people talk about seeing it as if for the first time. We heard Solicitor Tompkins talk about a trip that Obama made to a reservation, and he spoke with high school students, and he said, "I now see." And it was being there in the place that made him see in a different way. And then, let's see, Peter Culp talked about the field trip where they negotiated the agreement on the bus while they were driving around seeing it happen.
Your leadership to do as much rewarding of that as possible. That's sometimes our reward systems sometimes don't reward that. Don't reward risk-taking, don't reward innovation, don't reward attention to teaching. And that all has to happen for an institution to do what I've been talking about. But it's hard, so.
Temperature is a very difficult thing, but we do have some stable isotopes that we get from little shells of calcified organisms that help us understand that if the calcified organisms haven't been recrystallized or changed. And the information that we have is available, and it does look like temperatures raged out of control after these mass extinctions.
Hey, welcome back. I have a clip I got to show you from our last Tell Us Something, but oh yeah, so no buts, no buts. Just here is last Tell Us Something event that happened not too long ago, and it's about adventure. And after this, we'll bring out Marc Moss.
Pat says, "Look over there, there's a tornado." And I start freaking out. I'm like, "Oh my God, there is, oh, I don't know what to do. And he's like, "Just calm down, it's fine, just calm down." I'm like, "How can I calm down? I've never, I grew up in Kalispell. We don't have tornadoes. I've never been in a tornado in my life." And it wasn't very big, but still, I looked over and saw it, and I was like, "That is a tornado. Maybe if I don't look at it, it won't come to me. I'm just not gonna look. I'm just not gonna look at it. I'm just gonna keep driving." And then we keep, driving along still, and then there's a whole sheet of hail that starts coming down. And the hail is probably like, coin size, quarter size hail. Like, bigger than I've ever seen, and could do some damage. And I'm going like 70 miles an hour because I'm freaking out.
All right, we're here with Marc Moss, the facilitator of Tell Us Something,
Yes.
from what you just saw there. And that was Adventure.
That was Adventure. That was filmed on Mardi Gras, if you're wondering what the beads were about.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so every storyteller, as they came up, I gave them some beads. And that was Erin O'Brien. You can go into Rockin' Rudy's and find her. That's where she works. Tell her how awesome her story is. She still drives the car that she's talking about in that story that got damaged by a hailstorm during a tornado. Wow. It was pretty crazy.
Oh my gosh, that sounds wild.
Yeah.
So tell us about Tell Us Something.
Tell Us Something is a storytelling event here in Missoula. We've been together for almost 5 years. We started in December of 2011 at the Missoula Art Museum was our first Tell Us Something. And we had one of the galleries totally full, and we had 6 storytellers that night. And we've been doing it about 4 or 5 times a year ever since. This year, however, we've had 8 events.
Wow.
Which is exhausting for everybody on the team, because it's not just me that makes Tell Us Something happen. So we've grown from the Top Hat. Mm-hmm. We tried it at the Denison Theater, and that's about the same capacity as the WOMA Theater.
Oh, cool.
And we generally sell out the Top Hat. And so Nick Chakota and I have decided that we're going to move Tell Us Something to the WOMA.
Congratulations.
For the December event.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Congratulations. I think that's a better venue, too.
It's going to be interesting. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, because there are lots of benefits and maybe not so much benefits because of the size of the venue. I'm very concerned about the intimacy being lost, but we're doing everything we can to make that intimacy still be there. So.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So how do you come up with your themes?
I've got a spreadsheet of about 200 different themes. People walk up to me on the street or at dinner parties and say, what would be a great theme for Tell Us Something? So I just write it down and throw it in the spreadsheet. And then at the end of the year, I sit down with my advisory board and we split a growler and say, what do you think of these 20? And then we get it down to 15, and then we finally get it down to 5. This year, at the Tell Us Something event at the WOMA Theater, we are going to have a survey that people are able to complete. And one of the things in the survey is pick one of the themes. And I've got, I think, 10 or 11 different themes. And so people can actually vote on the themes for 2016, or even suggest a theme.
And so how many shows are you planning for 2016?
5.
5,
yep.
Only 5.
I want to do, we'll see if it's going to be at the Top Hat or the WOMA. I want it to be at one of those. So we'll do 4 there, and then 1 at the Peace Farm.
Oh, fun.
Which is a non-alcoholic avenue for opportunity for people who either don't go to bars or choose not to go to bars or can't go to bars.
Right.
So we'll do 1 at the Peace Farm in July.
But you also have a whole bunch of kind of like offshoot Tell Us Something. It's kind of like, because you've done a couple at the Roxy here and there.
We have, and that was super fun. Also experimental. This year was the year for experimenting. And we're going to rein it in a little bit and keep it tighter. Have less events, because with that many events, the fear is that we have the same storytellers coming every time, and we have less people coming to the events.
Oh, speaking of
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
same storytellers, which of your storytellers have done it the most? Who has the most
Crazy stories.
most patches on their badge?
I don't know. Either Pat Williams or Carla Thylan has been there quite a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have to go back and look at the stats, but those are the two that come to mind.
You said Pat Williams?
Yeah.
Is he the Pat Williams?
The Pat Williams.
Oh, really? The
longest
former
running congressman
really?
from the state of Montana. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, how funny.
He's
Yeah.
so interesting. Like, he has a bunch of stories just comes out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's when I basically make Montana like 80% public land. I was
Like, oh.
like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then I was in a bar in Butte and I punched out this guy and
Butte.
yeah, Butte.
So,
Central Butte.
you said you're gonna do 5, so it's gonna be every other month. So did you guys
about quarterly?
and you guys already have do you have all the pamphlets out when?
We don't.
Okay.
So after the Wilma event, we're gonna sit down. Nick and I are gonna sit down and figure out what dates work best for him and Tell Us Something, and we'll get those down, and then that information will be released on the Tell Us Something website as soon as we have it.
Speaking of website, what is that website?
TellUsSomething.org.
Actually, we have it.
We haven't.
We sure do.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Bam.
So you guys can take a look at this, and if you want to find more information about him, you go to right there.
That's also where you can listen to the podcast. We stream the podcast for free right on the website. You can subscribe to the podcast using iTunes or Stitcher or whatever podcast app you like.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, do you think is there anything else that we haven't touched on?
This will be the first time that we've got merch available.
Oh, good.
I hand screen printed these T-shirts, along with help from some folks from the bookstore at the University of Montana, which I want to shout out to them. They have been super supportive of Tell Us Something during its entire duration. So thanks to the bookstore at the University of Montana for their sponsorship. But they helped me print these T-shirts, so we'll have T-shirts and stickers and hand screen printed posters as well.
Cool.
Yeah, and one of the biggest changes besides the venue is that we're going to have a musician
Oh, what?
as well. Yeah, John Dundee is coming down from Helena, Montana. He's a storyteller, but he tells his stories through the power of song. So he's going to share a short 30-minute set at the beginning to get us all warmed up, and then we'll launch right into the stories.
Nice.
All right,
Okay,
so-
so what time does it start? Yeah.
Yes.
Doors at 6.
Okay.
Music starts at 6:30. Admission, can I say?
Yeah.
Cost, admission is $5. Storytelling starts at 7. I just learned that no outside food or drink can be brought into the Wilma, so that's important. Another thing that I often get asked, can I bring my children to Tell Us Something? What I always say to that question is, there are adult themes that are discussed at Tell Us Something and shared. So with that knowledge, you get to make your own choice as a parent if you want to expose your children to that.
Yeah.
Because we don't censor any of the stories.
Yeah. And then how many people are talking? How many
We have 8
storytellers?
storytellers.
Cool.
Oh, the other big change is usually we never announce ahead of time who the storytellers are going to be. But this time we workshop all of the stories, right? And at the workshop, we had a reporter from the Missoulian come. So the storytellers will be announced. I think that comes out on Friday. It's
How do
gonna
you
be
feel about
in
this?
Corridor. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about it.
Yeah.
But I'm actually really excited. This is a great group of folks. And just because a person comes to the workshop doesn't necessarily mean that they're committing to telling a story. They're testing out the waters. So some of the people that were at the workshop have opted to not be a part of the event. We will have 8 storytellers, however, and it's a great, really tight group of folks, and they sort of bonded with each other, and they're like, "You can do it! You're gonna be great!" So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, December 8th, at the Wilma Theater. I'm still trying to get used to saying that. 6 p.m. Doors at 6. Music starts at 6:30, and storytelling begins at 7 p.m.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. We'll be right back after this. Hey guys, what's up? It's Noelle, obviously. I know that was really awkward. Okay, so.
It was like really.
Yeah, it's really awkward. It's so
Trey
sorry.
awkward.
Okay, Trey awkward. I gotta look in here. Okay, so we've got some events at this morning at 9 a.m. over the Lifelong Learning Center. They have, I don't know. Okay, so over at the Lifelong Learning Center at 9 a.m., they have Essential iPad, the basics. So if you have an iPad and you have no idea how to use it, you can bring that in and they'll tell you how. So yeah, pretty much, starts at 9. Over at Spectrum Discovery area at 11, their Discovery Bench is chromatography, sweet, and the Brain Lab is brain games. Nice, okay, great. And then also at 11, they have their Science Sprouts, and they're doing Hooray for Hippos, and it's an early childhood program. It's for ages 2 to 5. And then over at the Missoula Insectarium, which is right upstairs, actually, they're having, not upstairs of MCAT, but upstairs of Spectrum. They have their Little Bugs Toddler Time. So this is for ages 3 to 5 to learn all about insects. Yeah, through like games and stories and hands-on experience, you know, touching bugs.
Finger plays?
Gross. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just
Finger plays?
No,
finger
no,
plays
finger
is another thing.
Okay.
Scott's paying attention. Oh, that's
Oh, no?
that's that.
That's your
Scott's
cheat
finally
sheet.
paying attention. That is my cheat sheet. Yes.
Oh. She can't do this by memory, folks.
No, of course
No
not.
one can.
No, I don't. No shame.
No shame.
Just like waitresses that take down orders by memory. I was like, how can you do that? How? I think that's dangerous.
It is really dangerous. It's like super dangerous.
I think it's really dangerous. Okay, so if you guys didn't hear, Dweezil Zappa is coming to Missoula.
What?
And he's playing Zappa, so Zappa plays Zappa. That's coming to Missoula. Pretty sure it's next week, or maybe it's tomorrow. Who knows? But today at 3 o'clock, he is having a guitar masterclass. So Dweezil Zappa, son of OG Zappa, is having guitar masterclass. This will be at the Top Hat. And so it'll be a 60-minute session. It'll include an open forum and demonstrations of techniques and improvisational strategies used on stage by Dweezil. What a great name. So bring your guitar. It's $75, and hopefully it's not sold out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Starts at
$70 for a lesson.
75.
75 for a
Yep.
lesson.
Yep, for the lesson.
And then
And the forum.
And you get to go to the concert, probably.
I don't think so.
Is there no concert?
There's a concert tomorrow, but I don't think that's included.
I think it might be included.
It didn't say.
Oh, well.
It might be, it's just like $75
I think it's
for
pretty
the
cool.
master class. I think it's cool too.
Yeah, I mean, you
think
get
it's
to ask him questions about his daddy.
Yeah, and like, he's like,
His dad died in the early 90s.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P. Okay. Middle school writers is over at the public library at 3:30. This is a writing group for grades 6 through 9. And if you're bored and want some stuff to do or want to write or eat some chocolate, you can go over there.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. Over at Big Sky High School, they're having an afternoon matinee tomorrow starting at 3:30. Bring a snack or enjoy some free popcorn. It's from 3
Big
to
Sky trying to
5:30.
be like big public library.
So
Little high school trying to be like big public.
big public. Little high school, big public. No. How do you feel about that, Scott? You went to Big Sky High.
Because I went to Big Sky High School, I am completely biased, and
I
don't think they should have a movie.
No?
No, I don't.
You don't like.
Oh, actually,
Scott doesn't like
I believe
movies.
everybody should have the right to do whatever the heck they want within reason.
Within reason.
That's my butt. But
Come on, Scott. It's the
you
morning
shouldn't.
show.
Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, I'm like talking 90s Nickelodeon right here. But
Yeah, this is.
I do what I want. It's my show.
We don't know what you're saying. It's 90s Nickelodeon talk.
But no,
That's
it's
a new
not.
language. 90s Nickelodeon. All right.
Well, they're bringing back Hey Arnold.
They
which
are?
I'm excited about. Yeah. Noelle loves Arnold.
Yeah, I love that head.
Yeah.
That football-sized head. I'm kind of like Helga.
It basically infected a whole generation to like football.
I like football now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Me too.
No, all right.
But
And dissolve.
and dissolve. Okay, so there is a book signing. So Rattlesnake Elementary School, they're having a book fair this week. So starting at 4 p.m. today, they're having a book signing. So they're having a book signing by 3 of the Rattlesnake parents and authors of their books. So we'll have Jeremy Smith. He'll be signing his book, Epic Measures and Growing a Garden City. Rattlesnake parent and poet Chris Dombrowski will be signing his collections of poetry by Cold Water and Earth Again. And then Robin Troy will present to sign copies of her most recent book, Liberty Lanes. Yeah, so pretty sweet. Go check that out. Top Hat Lounge is having their fish-themed happy hour. So they have trivia and drink specials and audio show and more. It's going to be crazy. Community Unite is over at the Kettle House at 5 p.m. 50 cents. Every pint sold, they will donate 50 cents to the organization of the night. Here's an open jewelry studio in the Makerspace at the Public Library starting at 6. So you can find some new projects to work on or collab with someone. Computer Fundamentals is at the Public Library, also at 6 p.m. Registration is required, so you can call 721-2665, but this is for people that don't know much about computers but want to learn. Rose Hours is hosting a community meeting. It's hosting Franklin to the Fort Neighborhood Council LT meeting. Starts at 6. Over at the University of Montana, they have an avalanche awareness lecture. This is an introduction or refresher on avalanche causes and avoidance, co-sponsored by the MissoulaAvalanche.org and the UM Outdoor Program. Over at the Lifelong Learners Center, they have got a Here We Come a-Wassailin'. So this is a little carol group. So this is a caroling group. Students will practice traditional Christmas songs in a 4-part harmony. Culminating.
Woo!
Words like that are so hard.
Oh.
Okay, with culminating with a caroling excursion in a local neighborhood. Watch out, everyone! They're coming for your door soon. Ah!
Culminating. They'll be culminating near you.
They'll be accumulating around your door. Ah, not the Carolos. Okay. Over at the Public Library, we've got Socrates Cafe tonight at 7. This is just a lively, intelligent conversation of an philosophical idea, and people are just going to talk about it and get crazy with it and do whatever. Yeah, it starts at 7. Sounds crazy. Also at 7 is live bingo over at the Lucky Strike. And then Treasure Island, which is a play, is at the University of Montana at 7:30.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, okay, so totally. Zappa Plays Zappa is playing tonight at the Wilma Theater at 8. So that concert is tonight. Tickets are $45 and $30 respectively. And then if you want to be like VIP, there's $75. So you could do the masterclass and then you could go to the concert.
Yep.
Wow. For $100.
For $100 overall.
Yeah, for $100 overall.
Unless like you hang out with
You get to hang out with
Dweedle Zappa, and he's like, you're cool, I like your style, I want
Yeah.
you to play on stage. And
Oh my god, and then you do stay on stage.
And then it's just great. And then
This is me playing on stage. This is if Scott and I were in a band. Oh yeah! Okay, Asaph. Okay, Scott, you playing the drums? This is us in a band right now. Woo. Yeah. Okay, I know I'm wasting time. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, over at so that's at 8. So that sounds awesome. Wilma Theater. Okay, Badlander's has got a release party. It's called Nothing in Mind. This is put out by Josh Wagner. It's his new collection of short stories, poetry, and photography. Trivial Beer Suit is at the Press Box at 8:30. There's karaoke at the Eagles Lodge at 8:30. Karaoke at the Badlander at 9, and karaoke at the Sunrise Saloon at 9. So that's my events for Wednesday. Up next we have Asaph's segment.
Generations before there was the team of Lady Gaga and our guest. 89 years young, we're talking about Anthony Dominique Benedetto, known to the world as Tony Bennett, the one and only Tony Bennett. Perhaps the greatest singer that ever lived at this point. Even Frank Sinatra once said that about him. Anyway, Tony Bennett is an American singer and traditional jazz singer of all things, but he's best known for his pop standards. He's also a painter, and he's got some works under the name of Tony Benedetto. which are in several institutions. He's also the founder of the Frank Sinatra School of the Arts in Astoria, Queens, New York, served in World War II in the European theater, and also worked as an infantry person. And then after the war ended, he got into music with his first hit in 1951 called Because of You. From there was a song called Rags to Riches. I don't know if you'll know that song. They used it in Happy Days, an episode of Happy Days once, with Fonzie and Shirley Feeney's boyfriend beating the snot out of some guys, and they were playing that song in the background. Anyway, his biggest hit went on in 1962, went on to become I Left My Heart in San Francisco. And he's been singing that signature song ever since. He made a comeback in 1980 and 1990, putting on, he's won gold albums again. He did in his early career, and then he did in his comeback career with the MTV Generation. He's won 18 Grammy Awards after his comeback, the Lifetime Achievement Award in 2001, 2 Emmy Awards, was named the NEA Jazz Master, and a Kennedy Center honoree, selling over 50 million records.
Wow.
And this is just a flyover. Let's show this clip here of a young man.
Troubles and dream your troubles away. Forget the troubles, just get happy. You better chase all your cares away. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day. Keep going. The sun is shining, come on, get happy. The Lord is waiting to take your hand. Shout hallelujah, come on, get happy. We're going to the promised
So that gives you an
land.
idea. This is, of course, he's singing with Andy Williams here. And speaking of Andy Williams, he is synonymous once with Christmas, because when I was a little boy growing up, every year they had an Andy Williams Christmas special. So I just wanted to give that quick plug to Andy. But getting back to our guest, Tony, he is still going strong, and of course, his albums with Lady Gaga are selling like hotcakes. They're big hits. Everything this man has ever done in his life, he's like King Midas. He's got the golden touch, the golden voice, and at 89, he is just as better than ever, showing no signs of slowing down or anything, just blessing the world with some great music.
Cool.
And I'll quit on that note right there.
Nice. Thanks, Asaph.
Sure.
Well, before I get back to events, I have a little ad from Tell Us Something, so I just want to play this real quick.
Where the...
Cool.
Nice, yeah.
That's what you can see this Tuesday.
At the Wilma Theater. Yes.
Doors open at 6, and of course, the show starts at 7, maybe a little later, because it is Missoula.
Yeah. You never really know.
You never really know.
Scott wants to get in jazz singing.
I want to be the next Scott Ramp.
You'll be the next Tony Bennett.
I want to be the next Scott Ramp. Tony Bennett wishes he could be the next Scott Ramp. Oh, there you go.
Whatever. Okay, so starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow is the art of picture matting at the Lifelong Learning Center. So participants will learn how to choose the best mats for a given artwork, how to cut mats accurately, how to assemble the sandwich of artwork and mats into a professional-looking product. Oh, you got to bring your own artwork. Bring your own artwork, but they do provide the mat, I do believe. At CrossFit Missoula, they've got a move, stretch, and breathe class. This is to help you identify or improve restricted no idea how to say that. Restricted body patterns in your body. The goal of this class is for you to learn specific stretches and improvements that'll benefit you the most. So it's $10. It starts at 12:30. Over at River Ridge Apartments, they have their senior roaming congregate meals at 1 p.m. So if you're elderly, go over there. Sounds great. Lego Club is at the Missoula Public Library at 3:30. Children under 12 have to be accompanied by an adult, and Lego and Duplo pieces are provided. Spiting feeder is at the Missoula Sectarium at 3:30. They feed the Chilean rose hair tarantula, Rosie. Yeah, at 3:30. And you can learn more about more about spiders and their hunting and feeding habits. University Center Gallery, they have a art show. It's called Regions Beyond Memory with Teresa Jones and Tyler opening. And so it's a collaborative exhibition. I can't really talk today. A collaborative exhibit, Regions Beyond Memory. And so it'll have his opening reception in the University Center Gallery. And it will feature prints and sculptural work by Jones and photography work by Tyler.
Sweet.
Yeah. At the public library, they have a Cuban art lecture at 4 p.m. This is with Raphael Chacon, and it is at the University of Montana.
And I suggest you go see this because the one thing that Cuba, since, Raul Castro has been kind of like basically being less communist than his older brother Fidel.
Yeah.
Even though they're only separated by like 2 years.
Yeah.
But he's been actually opening the country a lot lately, and there's been a lot of interesting things coming from Cuba. And Cuba is one of the things everyone should be looking at.
I'd say
not
so.
out for. But looking at.
Yeah, Cuba's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I feel like with this, whole opening of their borders that they can
Yeah. I mean, even back in, even since like the 90s and stuff, even with Fidel, there was still tourism. They'd still allow tourism, people to come by and just hang out.
Yeah, well, we weren't allowed to go there, but now
I thought we were.
No, the United States is not. Now we are, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
But we'd always get like sugar from them, wouldn't we? Or
I have no idea.
or something, because they were like, they had a lot of product to
Sugar,
sell.
cigars, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
I think cigars is an old wives' tale. They have cigars, but people liked it more because it was forbidden.
Oh.
Yeah. But of course, I don't think anything from Cuba was legal in the United States because of our whole like Bay of Pigs, 60s, all that stuff that happened then just kind of like carried over.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah, but that's definitely something to look at because Cuban art in the modern age, it looks very interesting.
Awesome. Yeah.
And when is it?
So it's at the Missoula Public Library tomorrow at 4 p.m. Raphael Chacon will be giving the free talk. It'll be in the large meeting room. And he is an art history professor at the university. At the university and the University Center Alumni Boardroom, they're having a Master of Social Work info session conversation. Starts at 5. So if you think about grad school, concerned about social justice, and interested in making a difference, you can join the Master of Social Work program at the University of Montana. So this is a session that's a Q&A and informational session for that. At the Lifelong Learning Center, they're having a cooking class. It's you and your kids cookie baking and decorating. So it's at 5:30. They're going to be making no-bake chocolate pretzel buttons, peppermint snowballs, and basic icebox cookies. Yeah. And then also at the Lifelong Learning Center at 5:30, they're having a class called Making the Most of Your Smartphone. So if you have a smartphone and you don't know how to use it, go in there. Good Food Store's got a cooking class for 10:30. Rosemary Rositi with apple slaw. That starts at 6 p.m. It's $10, and it is put on by a Good Food Store cooking school manager and lover of mountains. It doesn't give her name, but yeah, great. Lockwood is going to be playing at Lolo Peak Brewing Company at 6. Imagination Brewing Company at 6 p.m. has got a Philanthropy and Service 101 class. So it's talks that are featuring Missoula Community Foundation, Forward Montana, and Imagination Brewing Company, which focuses on spirit of service and how to better volunteer in Missoula. Okay, this next event is all the rage, and Scott and I are very excited about it. The Chia Pet Making Workshop at the Zootown Arts Community Center. Chia!
I want my own Obama chia pet.
You have an Obama chia pet?
I want one.
Make one!
Yeah.
So they're going to build their own chia pets with clay. You can create your favorite animals and shapes into growing planters. Isn't that great?
That's pretty
I love
cool.
that. I know. If I didn't have to work, I would go to that. So, you guys, that sounds awesome. Make your own chia pet. Yeah. Over at the public library, they've got a community creative writing workshop. This starts at 6, so it's an open drop-in environment focused on creative writing workshop process. Yeah. Over at REI, they have a GoPro video editing basics with a GoPro studio. Starts at $630. You can learn how to create videos from scratch or use GoPro templates. Help fast track, that help fast track to a good edit. You can learn how to trim and mix clips and adjust video playback. Over at the University of Montana, they have got a denim. It's called Denim and Diamonds. Ooh, sounds very Montana. So the Missoula Organization of Realtors and the Missoula Building Industry Association are celebrating with food, drinks, and live and silent auctions. Proceeds benefit More for Kids and a local nonprofit building project.
Oh, well, I hope people enjoy bedazzling.
Yeah, it's at the UC Ballroom. And then at the Roxy Theater, they're playing Spinal Tap. Starts at 7. And then the Sound of Music is at the Missoula Community Theater at 7:30. And then we've got some music. We have open mic at the Eagles Lodge at 8:30, open mic at the Broadway at 9, Dead Hipster at the Badlander at 9, karaoke at the Dark Horse at 9, Stomp the Cat Box, which must be a nice little country band, the Sunrise Saloon at 9.
It's going to be a whole regular hoedown.
Yep, and then we've got Homegrown Comedy at the Union Club at 9:30.
Wow, there's a lot going on these next 2 days.
Seriously, there's so much going on, which is awful because it's so tempting to go out, do everything, and not do homework.
Yes.
But you guys, if you're a student, stay indoors, do homework,
Don't leave until everything is done because you only have 2 more weeks.
Keep in mind, it's only going to be 24 degrees this week. So do your homework. But for everyone else, all of you free adults, you can check out MissoulaEvents.net, the Independent, the University of Montana website, or the newspaper for all your local events.
Now, as an adult, where would I go again? Where do I find more information about this kind of stuff?
I just said.
Oh, MissoulaEvents.net.
MissoulaEvents.net, the University of Montana website, newspaper, and the Independent.
No way. It's very interesting.
It was really interesting. Yeah.
Yes, but of course, it is Christmas time, and I got our very...
Merry Christmas, Scott!
Merry Christmas month, Noelle. It's the 25 days of Christmas, 24 days of Christmas.
23.
It's the second, so it's 24 more days to go.
So 25th is Christmas.
Yeah, no, 25 days of Christmas, but there's 24 more days because it's the second today.
I don't believe that.
If you count...
I don't like it.
But you can count on seeing Gary Gillette dress up as Santa for Tuber Christmas happening the second Friday this month, which is December 11th, at the mall in the food courthouse area near Cafe Dolce, you know, the big clock in the mall, and they play Tuber Christmas. But I had the exclusive to have Gary come here with 3 of his musician friends.
Ooh, fun.
And play some Christmas music. And I'm going to show a little taste of that will be airing on MCAT throughout the month of December.
Nice.
Tuba Christmas here in Missoula this year, 2015, will be at Southgate Mall on Friday, December 11th. That sound right? Next Friday. And all tuba players of any persuasion and or ability levels can come join up with all of us tuba folks at Sentinel High School. We rehearse from 4 to 5:30. It sounds like we've rehearsed all year long, I know that, but it's just an hour and a half, and then we'll go to the mall and play at Southgate Mall Clock Court, 7 o'clock till we run out of music or we run out of audience. It usually goes till 8:30. Hey, let's do some chipmunk. Or you're looking elsewhere. 33. 33? Oh, okay.
All right, and you can see that December 11th, which is a week from this Friday, and I'll be showing a whole bunch of clips because I did like a 28-minute like music set with those guys when they're here in the studio.
Oh yeah, nice.
So we'll be showing a whole bunch of that throughout the month, and I'm going to give Lori like each song and a separate clip for her to play whenever, just as filler, and I think it'd be great throughout the whole month of December. But of course, I'm also looking for nonprofits who want to do a holiday greeting or holiday PSA next Tuesday. I have it pretty much filled up for mid-morning to early afternoon, but it is still open from like 3 to 4, and then another spot from like 4 to 5. But other than that, like it only takes 15 minutes, and if you represent a nonprofit organization here in town, just give us a call at 542-6228, otherwise known as 542.
I'm Kat.
And you can find out more information. But also, we're also always looking for guests to talk about upcoming events, like Marc Moss was just here talking about Tell Us Something. But so you can tell us something about your event that's happening in the near future.
Yes.
I got one. I'm playing at the mall starting yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So
Every day at 2 o'clock.
Yes.
tell us about this, Asaph.
So Asaph is playing at the mall.
Yes.
Tell us a little more about this.
Well, it's not much to tell. It's just they have a little upright piano at the Cafe Dolce this year, and they invited me to play for the holiday season.
And you started yesterday, right?
My first day was yesterday.
How was it?
Interesting. Interesting, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't much people there, but it's always like that when you first do it. As it gets closer to Christmas, there'll be more people.
But of course, you have a good flow of traffic of people wandering through and seeing like, oh, there he's playing. But if you like consistency, if you're always going to be there,
well,
people are going to be like,
every day
and then there's going to be like the mall walkers, professional mall walkers.
Do
some
you have
from
a song
Texas.
for those mall walkers?
Maybe the baby elephant walk.
And then that's so mean.
That's terrible.
I know.
But of course, let's warm things up just a little bit with a segment I like to call Hallmark or Bullmark.
Yeah, get myself out of that hole I dug myself in.
Yes. Let's change the subject right now. Season's greetings from the best baker in Seattle, Washington. Eleanor is just getting out of a relationship with longtime boyfriend and business partner Jim after 5 years and great success. The spice in their relationship has soured.
Oh no.
Woo. But just as soon as Eleanor gets out of her frying pan, she's thrust into the fire with a new baker in town. Henry, the hunky new baker for Eleanor, is just trying to make it, and where he found little to no success back home with his own spin on baking, he soon finds himself out baking his own boss. Ooh, so he's out baking Eleanor.
Oh no, he's out baking.
No way.
No.
Can Eleanor learn to work with this new baker and avoid getting too close before history repeats itself, or will she find the spice of life in Henry? And this movie is called Just a Pinch of Love. Is this a Hallmark original movie, or is this complete Bullmark that Scott is known to make up about stuff?
Bullmark.
You think it's Bullmark?
Yep.
I'm going to agree, Bullmark.
Yep.
Well, guys.
Too many flashy words.
All right. Well, congratulations, guys. You are right.
Yeah.
It is complete Bullmark. I completely made this movie up. It's not real.
The spice of life in Henry. Oh.
Yes, but of course, our next movie, if you guys don't know how this game works, it's Hallmark or Bullmark. That's the name of the game. And I read a synopsis from a Hallmark original movie, or do I? And you have to determine whether or not it's a real Hallmark original movie or not. It's a fun game, because I say so.
It is.
All right, hit it, Asaph. Lindsay has to make a tough decision. Stay in her small hometown and marry longtime boyfriend Jason.
Not Jason.
Or accept a once-in-a-lifetime job teaching at a prestigious college thousands of miles away. Fortunately, a magical messenger gives her a priceless Christmas gift. Lindsay is instantly transported 3 years into the future, time travel.
Yeah, I love time travel.
So she's she'll be able to make the decision today that will be best for her in the future. And this is called Just in Time for Christmas. Is this a Hallmark original movie, or is this something that I made up?
I don't know. This could go either way, because like Hallmark is definitely guilty of time travel stories.
Are they?
Yeah.
What was the last time?
Scott?
I don't know.
Bullmark!
What about you, Asaph? What do you think?
I'm gonna go the opposite direction.
Say Hallmark?
Yeah.
Asaph, you are correct.
Oh!
It is a Hallmark original movie that premieres on December the 8th. So instead of going to tell us something, you should totally watch this movie.
So after Tell Us Something, you guys can watch this movie.
But if you miss it, it'll be on 20 more times throughout the month of December.
That's hilarious. She time travels. Yeah, they love time traveling.
Right? And Christopher Lloyd is in this movie.
Christopher Lloyd is in it?
Yeah, he's in that movie.
I love Christopher Lloyd.
I love Christopher Lloyd. And, he's had some financial issues because his house burned down.
Oh.
And he didn't have any insurance, so he had to do a bunch of these, terrible, terrible movies the last, 5-10 years.
That's okay. It has to happen. Poor Christopher Lloyd. It's gotta happen. I still love him. I don't care.
He looks good.
Does he?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, sure, less hair, but,
He's old,
but his skin looks good. He doesn't look like he's, I don't know.
Scott, do that.
The whole,
Do that.
he's not that old.
No.
But he's definitely kept himself together for sure.
Good.
Oh, Christopher Lloyd. I write him love letters every other week, so.
Oh, that's why. Scott writes me love letters too. It's really awkward.
All the time. I write love letters to everybody because I'm just so shy to talk to them. But without further ado, you can find out more information about our very own Hallmark or Bullmark by logging on to our website, wakeupmissoula.wix.com. You can play Hallmark or Bullmark by clicking on this little tab. You could find us on our Facebook page. Oh, we have another message. More people want to be on our show. You could follow us on Twitter at Wake Up Missoula.
You can like Missoula Community Access Television on Twitter at MCAT-TV Missoula. You can like MCAT on Facebook. And to find out more information about us, just go to MCAT.org. Yes. And on Saturday is our drop-in stop-motion animation camp from 1 to 5. It's only $10. And if you want to come a half day, it's only $5.
All right. So I just want to thank Marc Moss for joining us. We had a lot of great clips. We had a lot of great content for today's show. There's a lot going on, so get out there and check it out. So for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramp.
I'm Noelle McAvoy, and here's Asaph Adonai.